Found out my boyfriend 25 of 5 years has been cheating on me 23 with a 17-year-old. I found out last night that my boyfriend of 5 years has been cheating on me for God knows how long with a 17-year-old that works for him. He's the manager. Some backstory: for the first 4 years of our relationship he was a deadbeat bum. Couldn't finish community college. Tried for his personal training certification, couldn't finish that either. Tried doing Uber, but worked maybe 5 hours a week, so basically no income. Through all of that I have been by his side to support him while being a full-time student and working full-time too, because I truly loved this man. He lived at every app I moved to, and I always wanted to spend every moment with him and him with me. It seemed like we were eternally in the honeymoon phase. Of course we'd have arguments here and there, but nothing we couldn't work past. Late last year he finally took a job that I went out of my way to get him. I spoke to my old boss who had started a new business and agreed to have my boyfriend work for him. He started getting better and working more and more, but to the point where he'd work 80 hours a week. I started to fall into a depression because I never got to see my boyfriend anymore, and with this whole pandemic going on, working from home so isolated, I just felt so alone. I lost motivation to do anything and felt like a different person. Last week I had a hunch that something was up and I confronted him about it, but he convinced me I was crazy and nuts. I believed him because I believed he would never be stupid enough to jeopardize our relationship. Then last night he doesn't come home until 3 AM, and when he falls asleep I check his phone and my hunch was right. I found messages between him and that 17-year-old girl. I felt sick to my stomach, but honestly felt grateful I found those messages because he probably would never have admitted it. I had this whole plan that when he was at work today, I'd pack my shit and leave, and sent him a text confessing I knew he was cheating and made sure he realized what an amazing woman he just lost. When I confronted him, he couldn't care less. He just barely apologized and told me he'd be out of the app by Friday. I know that I was the one eager to end this toxic relationship, but why is it now that I can't let it go? Because he didn't give a duck about how much he hurt me and didn't even try to beg for forgiveness. As a severe empath, I keep thinking maybe I could have done more for him. Maybe some of this is my fault because I should have shown him more love considering how hard he was working. Maybe I could have planned a date night every other week or have a nice home cooked dinner ready for him every night. But then I think he put me through this for the first 4 years of our relationship. He never planned me a date night. He never had dinner ready for me. He actually never cooked at all for that matter. I've told him that I've been feeling extremely depressed this past month because I feel so alone, yet he didn't care about that. So why is it that he couldn't support what I was going through for a few months when I was there for him for 4 years? It's been a while since I've felt suicidal, but that's all I currently feel right now. That the only way he'll actually care and realize what he did is if I'm dead. I'm so sorry you're going through this. You deserve so much better. The best revenge is living well. Make him see what he gave up was better than anything he could have imagined with his affair partner. You sound like you're way out of his league. He's just too dumb to realize it. And honestly, I'd consider reporting what you found to his work after you safely move out. Being in a position of power over a barely legal, I hope, child and starting a romantic sexual affair with her reeks of grooming behaviors. Your soon-to-be ex is acting in a very narcissistic and predatory way. And I hope you know it's for sure a him problem, not a you problem. Suicide will not make him care more. There's millions of other more worthy men out there for you. Step 1, start by reporting him to someone, since he's hooking up with a minor. Step 2, enjoy some time for yourself. Join a gym. Join a hobby club you're interested in. Go for walks, bike rides. Set a weekly schedule of activities. Post your schedule on a wall and get out and meet new people. Stop obsessing over this loser. He'll never change. Focus on getting better and meeting others. You need to let his owl know. This is highly inappropriate for a manager to screw his workers, blow his world up, because that is just nasty. The way he went about it. Get him fired. This unfortunate you blew up on him instead of gathering your proof and setting both their worlds on fire at that place. Doesn't make the betrayal trauma go away, but personally it gives me satisfaction. to create consequences for people who duck their supposed loved ones over like that. Throwing some of that dirt back over the fence before installing higher walls, then carrying on to enjoy your beautiful lush garden that is your life and deserves your attention and joy. A much easier way to access the control you clearly seek. No beef. That's normal. Don't build people up like you did. You did a huge pick and dance for years with big expectations, and that's where it ends you up in. He took advantage and did not become the man you somehow secretly planned for him to be. And you applied the exact same principle of expectation need to control pick when fantasizing about how he'd be heartbroken when you dump him. Didn't work either, and that hurt you. To again throw dirt back over the fence. Seek therapy. Never do such a pick and keep and dance again. And live your best life. Create as much separation from him as fast as possible. I know that sounds impossible to do, which is why you've got to learn to grey rock and 180 him. This relationship was never as good as you romanticized it. He's been a terrible partner the entire time. From a bum who never contributed to finally getting a job and betraying you. Start to read a lot to learn to cope better. Read cheating in a nutshell. Leave a cheater. Gain a life. And the body keeps the score. In the meantime, spend time on Chump Lady's blog reading as much as you can. And find healthy ways to burn emotional energy working out, blogging, yoga, etc. With time, you'll start to realize how unhealthy he is. He clearly doesn't work as much as he says and likely spends a lot of time with her, but he has no future. He will continue living as this man-child pursuing near children in search of no person growth. You deserve so much better in life. Walk away. Spend not one more iota of energy on the soul sucker. Don't bother with revenge or tracking him. He is not your problem anymore. Add it to your life experiences like tasting a bad food and learning never to eat it again. You are lucky to find out what you don't want at an early age. Go find a nice productive man who takes care of you first. I'm sorry you're feeling this way, but let me tell you something. Your honeymoon phase was only possible because you were deeply in love and the dude was milking you. You're a nice person. You gave it all to the relationship. The issue is that your ex never did. You basically spoon-fed him. You got him a job. That man is such a waste of space that he couldn't have gotten a job without someone else playing mom that's trying to find activities for her grown-ass kid. You don't need that. You don't need a man-child in your life. Your ex is playing around with a 17-year-old because mentally and emotionally he's stuck there. During that relationship he grew and matured. Your ex did not. You miss your romanticized idea of him because objectively he was nothing more than dead weight holding you back. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Honestly, this man never cared about you to begin with. It sounds like he was using you and manipulating you. When a honeymoon period goes on and on, while the guy's not working or contributing, you're in the honeymoon phase because he doesn't want to lose his gravy train. He knew he had you, and he was going to fake being caring and romantic for as long as possible to keep you supporting him. He really doesn't sound like a man that you should cry over. Definitely not worth killing yourself over. If you're genuinely feeling like harming yourself, please reach out and get some help. You have much better days ahead of you. Without this slime ball, the best revenge against him is to live well and refuse to ever have anything to do with him again. Also, report his ass to our. He's screwing his employee and she's a minor. I bet her parents will just be thrilled to learn about this. I'm so sorry you're going through this, but I have to be a bit blunt here. You can't make someone care if they don't want to care. You can do everything right within your power as a partner, and if the want to cheat exists within your soul, they will still do so because it is a choice of his to make. Do not blame yourself for his choice. You hurting yourself or dying isn't going to give him realization of his own asshole behaviors or make him regret anything. All it will do is give him the mindset of thank God I got out when I did. She's crazy. If he even cares to notice that all his narrative is no longer I wanted and got with someone else. It's now she was so obsessed with me that when I left, she fell to pieces. She's being manipulative and threatening suicide only to get my attention. Please do not give in to that toxicity. You are more than this. You deserve more than this. You are better than this. Exactly, this suicidality only feeds his ego. So if you're entertaining the thoughts as a means of getting his attention, just stop. Take it from me, it's a huge waste of time and a very dangerous position to put yourself in for someone who you'll look back on and cringe thinking about one day. If however the suicidal thoughts are springing purely from acute depression, understandable, then get thee to a therapist with a quickness. Waste no time. Recovery starts right now. Oh honey, don't worry, you are better off without him, and you deserve better than his deadbeat ass. Do not feel guilty over leaving him. He didn't care about you when you were giving him the world. He is unappreciative and deserves to rot. Also, the whole part of him screwing a 17-year-old is a red flag for that girl. He is preying on her and is a pedo. You need to contact the company he works at and let them know what's going on for the betterment of that girl. As much as it would break you, it would also be unfair to her. What they are doing is illegal almost everywhere, and he will be behind bars if not fined. All the best to you for your future endeavors. Take care of yourself. All of this shit aside, I hope this is also a learning lesson. Do not stick by a deadbeat partner. I'm sick of people, particularly women, staying with jobless, abusive, manipulative, lazy ass losers for years and then eagerly expecting some awakening moment where the partner suddenly loves and respects them and doesn't do shit 247 to make them miserable anymore. You know the saying, if you hold the door open for someone and they don't say thank you, you can't get mad because it was your choice to hold open the door. You wasted years of your life on a man who simply does not give a shit. Because if he did give a shit, he wouldn't have brought absolutely nothing to the table for the last 5 years. He would have been a good partner for you. Relationships are partnerships, and partners who care want to be better. This is why cheating for him was so easy. So many of my girlfriends are in this position. One finally freed herself after she caught her partner of 7 years banging an 18-year-old co-worker actually. Although for 7 years she basically supported him, so the cheating was really just a miracle and enough to help her leave. For good. See a therapist or a professional. Work on some self-love and respect so this never happens again. OP, so sorry this happened. Please stop blaming yourself. See it from the outside. He took you for granted for everything, your care, patience, etc. You're the top prize for anyone lucky enough to have you. He's not even good enough as the door gift. Please give yourself the same love, care. Your success will be his torture reminder of what he lose. Do talk to your old boss with evidence. If company have any policy regarding such matter. Think on the bright side, you dodge a bullet, isn't it? Your life started without him. Why should it end? Because of him. Moreover, it'll likely be a huge relief for him. Think about that. Take care. I understand that thirst for recognition. Acknowledgement of what he's done. With full recognition of the context. How you supported and helped him while he couldn't even manage contributing without the stress driving him to betray you. It makes sense that you want that. And even the extent that depressive thinking makes you consider going to in order to get it. I get it, because I felt much the same way and have terrible impulse control. My ex was also horrifically emotionally abusive. So I figured it was a win-win. Whether I succeeded or failed. If I failed, he would have to acknowledge what he was doing to me, how he'd hurt me, what he'd done. And if I succeeded, I would be free and I wouldn't hurt anymore. I survived, obviously, and got zero acknowledgement. He told people, see, she's crazy. Anybody would have been miserable and left her psycho ass. He told his app he wished I was successful because then I would stop annoying him. I don't know if your now ex is a sociopath like mine, but given the maturity he's shown, he would even twist your suicide to fit his narrative. He is not going to start caring. No matter what you do, it's just not in him. He is a child. Honey, do not give him another iota of your energy. He doesn't deserve what he's gotten. The trash has taken itself out. Painfully. But you are free now. You will recover from this and be okay again. You can build something mutual and satisfying with someone who legitimately cares about you and has the emotional maturity to treat you properly. This opportunity and this lesson in putting yourself first are the only things of worth he's given you. Don't waste that. Don't give up. Stop trying to get the attention of a low quality man. He's trash and you deserve better, so go out there and get it. You're hurting because you had a preconceived notion of how the confrontation would pan out. You also had a preconceived notion that he wouldn't cheat. I'd say take this as the lesson to do your best to reduce the expectations for things you can't control and shift that energy and focus into the things you can, like bettering yourself. You've got this in the bag. Also, what kind of 25-year-old has interest in a 17-year-old pretty ducking gross LOL? He's committed statutory rape. You want to blow up his life? Go for it. This sub is full of people who preach the other cheek. They're better people than I'm. BCS, that to me sounds like a doormat with religion as a cover. If you go high when they go low, they win. Your moral high ground is good for, I have no idea for what, but it lets the villain get away scot-free. No justice, no peace. And also, if my 17 years old had an inappropriate relationship, a friggin' 25-year-old I would need to know. Feeling aside, this is statutory rape. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.